Yo, what's up, guys? James here, and this video is about vintage Masters of the Universe action figures and how to tell if your figure has been repaired. The reason I'm making this video is because, there's going to be new collectors when the movie comes out. A lot of people might not know this information. I've been doing repairs on Masters of the Universe figures for a long, long time, from laser light figures to Leo India fakers. I mean, I know these toys relatively well, but unfortunately, there are and within the collecting hobby, there's just scammers. So you have to know what to look for, and these figures are all from India. And when you're spending a lot of money on these figures, you want to make sure that you're not buying something that has been repaired, or if you buy something that's been repaired, that's fine, but at least you should know that it's been repaired and maybe save some money. So you have to know, as somebody that's dealing with these figures, if you're new to the hobby, you just have to know what to look for. So all these are from India. Now it's this happens most often with India figures. It's a whole different world over there. They just fix figures, try to sell them as not repaired. But anyways, this applies to all Masters of the Universe figures. So I'm going to show you how to look out for repairs, and then also we're going to talk about some things with that specifically have to do with Leo India figures. So sorry if this video is a little bit long, but it's good knowledge. By the way, feel free to edit this video, share it. I don't care. But everybody should know what to look for. And always be careful when you're buying, action figures that are, some of these are very expensive. So be careful. Anyways, so we're going to start off with, here's this figure was repaired by me. Now, I have to admit, this figure, I should have done a better job. Now, I did an arm peg repair on here, but we're not going to take the arm off because, but first thing you want to do is you want to look at the seams right here. Let me see if this, sorry about the, you can see, now I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this. It's just a He-Man figure. But you can see the scarring. You always want to look for scarring. This one actually isn't too bad. Now, most often, this would pass. The normal collector, they would not suspect really anything here. But I'm not going to take the arms off. What you would want to do if you're taking arms off, especially on Leo India figures, because this is more brittle plastic and it's harder. You'd boil some water. This is obviously coffee, but you boil some water, put the shoulder in there, for about 15 seconds, soften up the arm. And then when you take the arm off, you always go up this way, and then slowly take the arm off. And that's how most of these repairs are done. Here's one. So this one's been repaired as well, but most repairs are done through the arm peg. So you would see a lot of scarring here. Now, I personally don't go in through the arm peg. I'm not going to share how I open figures and repair them. That's not what this video is about. But you want to look for scarring. Okay, now you can see right here, you see this gap right here? That's a sign, but look at this right here. You really, get it in your phone. See how the seam right here is not perfect, and see the little gap here? Now, most people would think this is fine, but it's actually not. Now, here's another sign right here. Where the neck meets the torso, you'll see a gap right here, okay? Now, if you look right here, you can see these little gaps. Now, I could clean this up and make this look, if the person knows what to do, they could completely fool you. And but they have to be really good at repairs, and that takes time. Most people aren't going to spend that much time A lot of the things that come out of India that are repaired are pretty easily. Sorry if I'm tripping over my words. Pretty easily noticeable. Okay, but the most people would just not even really look at this. But you see the scarring right here. The gap right here. You would also see scarring right here because a lot of people will just go in through the arm peg. I don't really do it that way. Okay, so that's one. The first thing you should do is always check the seams. Now, you're not going to be able to tell if arms and legs are swapped, and I personally don't really consider that a repair, but we are going to, further on, I'm going to show you how to tell the difference, if the arms are Leo, if the legs are Leo, or if they're Taiwan, yada, yada. But let me show you what else to look for. So always check the seams. If you're buying these figures, tell the seller that you want a picture like this, zoomed in. You want it like this, Now, you probably wouldn't even think this was repaired just by looking at it, right? You can kind of see, though, right here. See where the seam is fading out, right? But you want pictures right here, right here, right here, and right here. And look, but, this would probably pass, and this isn't even like a really good repair. Here is another telltale sign that a figure has been repaired. You see this gap from the torso where the shorts meet? Actually, if you just go like that, this should be flush like this, okay? Now, some people might say, oh, well, the spring, blah, 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 it gets loose over time, and blah, blah, blah. Well, go check every single figure that you have that is not, for sure it's not repaired. In fact, let's look at this one. This is a Taiwan Skeletor, okay? There's no gap here, okay? This is flush right here. This is a very, very, almost an instant sign to tell if a figure's been repaired. Okay, this gap right here, and you can just jiggle the legs and hear it. Let's go through this one right here is not repaired. We're gonna go through that in a second. This one's repaired, okay, but this one's flush, okay? And actually, these shorts are Taiwan shorts. They're not Leo shorts, and I'm gonna show you how you can tell. But this one, I repaired, but you can see it's flush. But most of the times, there's going to be a gap here. Look, you can even see a gap. Look, hear that? The jiggling. Here's another one. This one's a little bit worse. Okay, now let's look at one that I repaired. Now, this isn't like I didn't spend a whole lot of time repairing this, and I actually traded these, and I've sold repaired figures, but I always let the person know, hey, I've repaired this. I always let the people know. But the gray area is I repair this figure, I sell it or trade it to somebody, then they take the figure, and then they don't tell somebody, hey, this has been repaired, and then they act, that's kind of the double-edged sword when it comes to, fixing these things. So that's why I'm kind of just not doing repairs anymore. Unless it's for my personal collection, because I don't mind. But anyways, let's look at this seam right here. So you can see, see these little marks? That's made from a knife riding up, because there's a connection right here. So, and then there's one up here. So, and then one in the middle where the spring would go in, if you ever saw the inside of a figure. But again, looking at these seams, you can see, see that gap right there, okay? Right here, and right here. Also, there are repairs that are done to these shorts often. These shorts right here are actually Taiwan shorts. But I'll show you a difference here in middle. God, I can't, in a minute, geez. But yeah, you can see, if you looked, you would know this is repaired. You could also take the arm peg off. I would never take an arm peg off, especially a Leo figure, unless you put it in hot water, because this is just brittle. But that's how to mainly tell. Look for this gap right here. Look at the seams right here and right here. Now let's look at a figure that has not been repaired. Now, if you look at this figure right here, this figure is perfect. It's not perfect, but pretty damn nice. Now, this figure right here actually has not been repaired. And you look, and that looks like glue. Well, it is glue. Because in India, what they did was they glued these figures. Unlike in Taiwan, these were sonically welded. They did use glue here. So just because you see glue right here, that doesn't mean that the figure was repaired. But that could also be used as like an excuse, like, oh yeah, this figure, it was glued. But anyways, let's look at the seam right here. See how perfect this seam is? You don't see any scarring right here. You see how perfect that is? Now, ignore the glue. The glue makes it a little bit harder. But let's look up here. You see how perfect? There's absolutely no scarring. Like, if you get the light, like, right on the lip right there, you can see how perfect this seam is. Now, I can spend a lot of time and make this seam look perfect. And I could really repair something and make it, but it takes a lot of time. I'll do it for my own personal stuff, but it's not really, it takes a lot of time, and most people aren't going to spend the time here. Now, look at this seam right here. It's perfect. This has not been repaired. Let's look up here. Now, there is a little bit of a gap right there, but that doesn't matter. If you just look, this is perfect right here. And look how tight and flush these shorts are to the torso. There's no jiggling right here. Arms are tight. So, but I mean, these repairs have gotten by me. Now, I am not going to take these arms off and look at the arm peg. But, that's another way to tell. But, yeah, looking at these seams, you can see there's no pry marks. Now let's look at, this is just a Taiwan Skeletor, but you see how perfect this is right here. Like, obviously this hasn't been taken apart, but all these seams, should be tight like this. This is just mold injection spot. But, yeah, although this is a Taiwan Skeletor, the same, it still applies because of the seams. Let's look at this one. I think this is a pretty decent repair right here. Taiwan shorts. We'll talk about the shorts in a minute. But yeah, this is a pretty decent repair, and this would get by most people. This is one that I repaired. But I mean, this would get by most people. If you look, you can kind of see. But this could get by most people. In fact, it maybe even get by me, if I'm being completely honest. I could clean this up and you would never really be able to tell if I spent the time doing it. But you see now here, you see right there, that lets you know. See that the little pinholes right there? Now I could clean that up. I'm not going to. Okay, so getting these figures out of India, one of the things that they will do is, because the shorts are always busted on these figures, because it's a more brittle plastic, and the leg bands that came from India were actually a little bit thicker and tighter, so it created a lot more tension on the brittle shorts, and that's why they break, and that's why you often see figures from India with chipped shorts. But these are Taiwan shorts. So let's look at these shorts that are Taiwan shorts to know if your shorts have been swapped, because that's a common thing that would happen. Now look at these Taiwan shorts. You see all this definition right here? Now let's compare that to these Leo shorts. Do you see the difference? How this one right here is a lot more dull. And then let's turn it around. You see all this definition right here, and then look at these ones. You see how it's more dull? That's a good way to tell if the shorts are legit. And also, I have it somewhere. Also, if you are... There's also the inside of the Leo shorts don't have the tab, like the I can't find it. Anyways, oh, right here. So the inside of the Leo shorts do not, now the Taiwan shorts have like a little tab right there. These ones do not. So, and there's also different numbers on the inside, but that's going to be really hard for you to read. But that's how you can tell. Yeah, and they're often commonly chipped right here or right here, you know. So really look at these shorts and, you know, if you think that they've been repaired, you could actually just replace the leg bands and look inside. If you look inside the shorts, that will definitely tell you if they've been repaired. But that's the difference between the Taiwan shorts like these and the actual Leo India shorts like this one right here. So now let's talk about arms and legs. The video's almost over, guys. Sorry, it's kind of a long one. So this is, if we look at this right here, this is Taiwan Skeletor. You see how clean this paint is? Taiwan made like probably the best figures in my opinion, but as far as quality. But let's take this foot and we could go like this, you know, and then it will spring back. Now, if we tried to do that on this figure right here, you could, like, dude, I'd break my thumb. And if we look at this paint is, I mean, there's often sand, it's sand in the paint, you know, paint imperfections. Like, look at right here. I mean, it's possible that this has actually been touched up too. I mean, when you have things that come out of India, they will touch things up and blah, blah, blah. Now, you could use a black light and put it right on the face and on the boots and see if there's, you know, paint, you know, the paint doesn't match up. I never have done it because I'm not really, I don't really care that much. But anyways, you could do that with a black light to see if, you know, on any figures, to see if it's been touched up. Now, a common thing is all these pinholes and pooling at the ends of the feet. I probably have one of these, have to have it. Not this one, but look at, see all these like little spots right here. There's no pooling on this one maybe. Oh, here you go. This is a common thing right here. So they would dip these, or I'm pretty sure they would dip them in the paint, hang them up, and then you would have like a little bit of pooling at the heel. But the texture of the paint should give this away. Also, a side note with any figure that used the boots, like He-Man and Faker, you're always going to have a mid boot right here, where the paint stops right here. Now, if you go look at your other figures, the paint will go all the way to the top of the boot. So, although this is He-Man, we could still look at it, right? And yeah, there is some numbering right here. But anyways, that's how you can tell, is just by feeling how hard this plastic is. You really can't bend the foot looking at the paint. The same would go for the arms. These arms are a lot harder. Like if I just went like this, you know, like, or on this hand, like see these fingers like this. Let's try to do it with this one. Like, not really. You can feel it. You can feel how hard this is compared to the other plastic. Like right here and right here, right? So like if you were buying a dark blue Skeletor figure, they might use Taiwan Webster arms. Well, to check to make sure they're actual Leo, you know, you could just feel the fingers. These are really hard. Okay, now let's look at this Taiwan. You know, it's a completely different plastic. See how flexible that is? And then you could do the same with the thumb. Like if we go with the thumb right here, you know, I could just go like this. And then if we go on like this, like that's not happening. You know, this is a lot more hard, durable plastic. Now, for the face I mean, this is a totally different paint. You know, it looks totally different. You know, here's the Taiwan, here's the Leo. And if we look at the back here, here's a telltale sign. This all Leo, they had this right here, the mark, sorry about my camera. You know, this circle right here. Now, yeah, so anyways, this video is already 20 minutes long. I'm going to cut it here, guys. If you guys got questions or, you know, just let me know, or you want to leave a comment and whatever, you know, constructive criticism. But check here, check the shorts, check the legs, check the arms, check the seams, you know, and really look these figures over, because I've seen some trusted members, pillars of the community that I've been, you know, collecting these figures for a long time, and then they turn around and scam people, you know, after years of thinking I can trust some of these people. So be very careful. And if you're spending, you know, this much money on a figure, I mean, I honestly wouldn't even deal with anybody from India. I've been scammed by somebody that I completely trusted, that was my supplier, just for them to turn around and then call me a scammer. It's just like, it's a mess. All right, so just be careful. And no matter what, make sure the seller offers a refund and that you're protected by PayPal. Okay, because you should always be able to return it. And you know, some people, some of the sellers might not know, but if they've been around this stuff for a while, they do know. So just, you know, sadly, you know, don't trust anyone. But I don't know, just do your due diligence. I hope this video was helpful. And yeah, so anyways, let me know what you think. Love you, stay safe, and I don't know, by the power of Grayskull, dude. Later. And let's drop our phone.